Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Mr. Holler Park 313. Um, you ready to go over this Lions and Green Bay game that happened earlier today? Lions fell short 27-3. I really don't know where to begin in talking about this game. I understand that we did have a lot of injuries, but at the same time, you have to look at depth, and it's always the next man step up philosophy in football. Nobody's going to have any excuse. Nobody's going to have any sympathy for you once you come up short. That's just the way it is. Either you win or you don't. They don't. Nobody care who was missing, who was out. You just got to find a way. That's just the way it is. So we definitely can't use that as an excuse for the defensive performance that we put in today. Because, like I said, I don't give a damn who was out. The defensive effort that we put in today is clearly unacceptable. It didn't even look like a professional team out there, honestly, in the first half. It looked like Green Bay was out there playing a fucking high school team. Honestly. I saw no passion. I saw no heart. I saw no effort. I mean, I just saw guys, jogging towards the runner, the ball carrier. It was just bad all the way around. It was just really bad. And we did not look like a pro team out there at all. It was an embarrassing effort. I really don't know what anybody can really say. And like I said, I understand we were missing some good players like Ziggy Ansah, Levy, but that's no excuse for the effort. My whole thing is effort. I can go out there and respect losing if you go out there, you lay everything out there in the field, and you just come up short. I completely understand that. But they went out there and just laid down, basically. And after the score really got out of hand, it seemed like they just gave up. I think that the defense got a little bit inspired by the offense. Because the offense came out in the second half with guns blazing. And they kind of got us back in the game. And I think with that happened, the defense came out a little bit more inspired. But still, it was not enough. So the way I look at it, with this team is we really have to get into shootouts with other teams. That's just the way it is. It's like our offense had to play against two different defenses: the opposing team's defense and our defense. We have to outscore the points that our defense is going to give up, and it is absolutely terrible. Now, I've been a Lions fan my entire life, and I will continue to be a fan. But with that being said, this defense this year's defense is probably the worst I've seen ever. And that's saying a lot. There's been lots of bad defensive teams on the Lions roster throughout the years, but this is by far one of the worst. It is absolutely disgraceful. This is by far the worst secondary I've ever seen. And if we have to go through the season, so they're looking at this Bears game. If we have to go through the season like this, then I really don't see us winning money. It's only so much the offense can do. If we can't go out there and score 30 points a game, and our defense giving up 35 a game, we have to get some type of stops. We got to do a better job of covering tight ends, and obviously we got to do better than defending the pass. And we seem totally inept in both of those areas. I really don't know what to say. I'm absolutely disgusted by the way we played today. Shoulda, coulda, woulda by coming back and only losing by 7. The bottom line is you came up short. I don't give a fuck if you was down 50 and you lost 49-50. You lost because you gave up 50 points in the first place, and that's the whole point with that. So now, if there's any silver lining in this, it's still relatively early in the season. So hopefully, I really don't know where to start in terms of improving this defense. It's wow, shit. Seriously, you really have to make some major improvements based off the effort I saw today. And not only that, I go all the way back a couple of weeks ago when they played Indianapolis. All the points they gave up then. So when you play elite quarterbacks, good quarterbacks in the NFL, you have to be ready to play. And if you put up that type of defensive performance, then you're going to find yourself have to make these comeback efforts all the time. Either we're going to be up a bunch of points and we got to worry about our defense giving up a bunch of points, or we just going to start off flat and just be down a bunch of points in the early stages of the game. And that's pretty much what I see. It's either or with this team. We can't defend it. We can't protect the lead because our defense is terrible. And we can't stop ourselves from being put in the hole because the defense is terrible. There's really no silver lining, no bright spot, none of this defense whatsoever. At least I don't think so. I really don't. I don't know how long Ziggy Ansah is going to be out, but even when he does come back, we still need to be able to defend the pass. Bottom line. And now it's getting to the point where teams can run all over us. So we can't defend the run, we can't defend the pass, which is a recipe for disaster. And if they don't get that fixed, and fixed right away, then there's not going to be many victories this season. And we're probably picking in the top 5 in next year's draft. I know a lot of fans are frustrated with this. I am too. We all have been for years. And something's got to be done. I think that this is really Caldwell's last year, honestly. One thing I could really say is I like the direction that Bob Quinn is going. And people have to be patient with him because, this is really his first year. It's really going to take a couple seasons for him to really have his stamp on this organization. And I believe that he's going to have us going in the right direction. And from early stages, I can already see that he knows no nonsense type of guy. And I already know that Jim Caldwell is on notice. So, if he don't get this shit fixed and get this shit fixed very soon, then he's going to be out of here. I've been a big Jim Caldwell supporter from the day he arrived. But it seemed like every week it's getting a lot harder. It's getting harder and harder to defend him. And I really don't know what to say. I thought, I go back to today's game where we kept running the ball with Theo Riddick when clearly it was not working. And I didn't understand why we didn't put Dwayne Washington in. It seemed like he's a much better between the tackles runner. Theo Riddick is a good player, but you have to use him in other ways, like we've been using him, which made him very effective. Clearly, he was not getting any kind of, penetration when he was running the ball, and we kept getting stuff in negative yardage. But for some reason, we decided just to stick with him with that. Now, I understand you do want to establish the running game so you don't become one-dimensional. You want to keep the defense honest and keep the defense off balance, but you got to go with the right personnel. And I just thought that Caldwell failed to do that today. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm pretty much out of excuses and out of defense for Caldwell. I really don't know what else to say in that. But what I can say at this point that I'm just about had it with him, honestly. So as long as he's coaching, I can find myself rooting for him and shit. But if you don't get this shit together and they get rid of his ass, it is what it is. And I really see that coming. We just have to be patient with this new general manager staff. And I think we'll be okay. But like I said, the only good thing I can pull from this game is the offense did pretty good coming out in the second half. Ebron has been playing exceptional football as of late. He's living up to his draft status. Marvin Jones has been stepping up for the last couple of weeks. And it's just really unfortunate that he had 205 yards receiving today and 2 touchdowns. And Stafford had a pretty good game today. So I hate seeing our players have big games and losing efforts. We should have won that game. If you tell me that Stafford had well over 300 yards passing and Marvin Jones had over 205 yards receiving, if you just told me those facts alone, then I would think that we won the game. But we did not. And that's just very unacceptable, in my opinion. So we just got to step it up. Bottom line. And I know a lot of people think that it's a foregone conclusion that we'll beat the Bears because they're down their quarterback. And, the Bears are not really a good team. But the way this defense is, nothing is guaranteed, honestly. It's really not. Do I think we can win in Chicago? Of course I do. But it's not guaranteed based off the way this fucking defense is playing. This defense is straight trash, honestly. It's badass defenses like this that get mediocre or marginal journeyman quarterbacks long-term deals. So we just got to step the fuck up, man. That's just the way it goes. And we'll just see what happens next week. And that'll be it. So until then, I'll check y'all out. Y'all take care.